Today, we are in the Yuanyang Rice Terraces, a UNESCO World Heritage Site located deep in the mountains in the southern part of China's Yunnan province. Famous for its terraced rice paddies, which when filled with water on the off-season have a photogenic mirror-smooth look, the Yuanyang area in general has so much more to offer, which means taking a closer look at the rice terraces and the local way of life. And the traditional village of Azheke in the heart of the terraces is the perfect way to do that. In Azheke, the first thing I noticed was
ducks. The animal that I think, no matter what stage of life it is in, always looks handsome. Ducks are perfect for the rice terraces here in Azheke, Yuanyang. Why? Not only are they semi-aquatic, which they are like that type of environment, but they also eat the pests that are in the rice terrace, and also their poop fertilizes them.
the ducks and the village are tended to by the Hani people, an ethnic minority group that have been living in Azheke and the surrounding area for generations. Azheke's name comes from the Hani language, and it means a hidden gem deep within a bamboo forest. The Hani people are traditionally rice farmers, and they are unique in that within southern Yunnan, their traditional villages and farmsteads are almost exclusively on the tops of mountains.
Now, if you come to Yuanyang, try to come in February, because late March is the peak of what in Thailand is known as smoke season. They have the same thing down here too. It's called smoke season because farmers in the region, to revitalize the soil in a more natural way, burn their crop waste. And by burning that crop waste, it creates a lot of haze in the air, as you can see around you, which is also why our drone shots weren't as clear. Now these terraces, they're made of clay, which means they become nice and bouncy when they're wet, but when they're dry, it becomes all cracked up like this. Meanwhile, I'm gonna keep walking and try not to fall in. Yeah. Right here, when it starts to get a little wet, it really does bounce. Now, it's not a basketball bouncy, it does have a certain amount of give to it.
Satisfied with the bounciness, I went on deeper into Azheke, but it didn't take long to find something interesting.
Now, walking along, we're greeted by a very obvious sign, even written in English for us Waiguoren like me. Sacred place, no entry. Now, and it's labeled the sacred forest of the village. Now, why would a forest be sacred? I mean, really not even a forest, it's a relatively small patch of woods that looks relatively litter-free, which is very unusual. And that's because the Hani people who live here, majority of them practice a traditional folk religion. And in that traditional folk religion, they believe that all elements of nature, but especially trees, have spirits living inside of them. And most of these traditional folk religions, they have a mix of good and evil spirits. And according to the sign here, they actually have shamans come in, and these shamans pray for a good harvest and healthy livestock, which in a traditional agricultural society, having those things is literally the difference between life and death. What you see here does not look like a traditional Chinese home, because it's not. It's a traditional Hani home. And these homes, to the locals, are known as mushroom houses. These mushroom houses, the most obvious feature is that the top kind of is colored like a mushroom, hence the name. But that coloring comes from the fact that they're using straw roofs. And straw roofs provide insulation, and they also keep water out. But in addition to that, these houses, they also use extensively bamboo, mud, and clay. Now let's check out the authentic Hani home that I can go live in, shall we? Ah yes, the most authentic of Hani homes, and the one that I would make myself most at home in. Let's see, thatched roof, check. And I feel like I'm interrupting somebody's business, so I'm gonna stop. Now, looking around this village, one of the things that becomes immediately evident is that everything is designed to ensure that the water can continue flowing. And that's incredibly easy, as this village is literally on a mountain, and water can flow very easily, just courtesy of a little thing called gravity. Now, this is incredibly important because flowing water, when water doesn't flow, it becomes tepid, full of pests, mosquitoes, all kinds of things that aren't good. And for any civilization, any any people, any living thing. Water is the essence of being able to, be alive.
Before anyone says, it's just set up for tourists, well, to a degree, yes, it is. But many locals also do actually live here. In fact, Azheke charges tourists to enter, 30 Chinese yuan to be exact. Small price, and the income helps keep the place alive and presentable. The energy of this place, nonetheless, is calm and tranquil, and you get the feeling that life moves at a slower pace here.
Even more spectacular than the scenery. Eh? What do you think, hot or not? So as of the time of filming in late March, it's right at the end of the season where you can still see the water on the rice terraces. But as you can see here, in some terraces, this is starting to give way to the first planting of the rice crop. And this is all still done by hand. As you can see, this older guy, he's taking a break right now. You can see him doing that. And let me tell you, rice farming is some of the most backbreaking of agriculture to do manually, because you're bent over all day, especially in the harvest season. You're bent over all day trying to handle these tiny little things, and your hands are constantly in water. So a lot of respect for this guy, a lot of props to this guy for still doing this, when if I was that age, I could probably barely even get up.
And with sunlight fast running out, it was up and out back to some place I could still see. But first, dinner.
After a long day, we decided to get something to eat. And the first dish came in, a type of fish. And I'll tell you, just getting the smell coming in right to my nose right away. Ooh, that smells like the flavor is going to be intense. And the good news is, my flavor palette is very strong, like bull. But unlike me, this does not spout bull. Oh, yeah. And as always, the red rice in the traditional Yuanyang style. Now, what's interesting is that, or sad really, is that a lot of even younger Hani don't really know how to grow this anymore. Oh, yeah. The second dish just came in. This is a type of egg pancake made with a tree flower. Now, I've had plenty of egg pancakes, but with tree flowers, well, this is going to be a first for me. Now, let's have a go with the fish and see how that tastes, because, gotta take the fish bones out. Just try to avoid eating them or just spit them out. Can easily get stuck in your teeth or can easily swallow them by accident. Let's have a go. Hopefully I got all of them out. I think this is one of the best dishes I've had here so far. The flavor's intense, and right at the end I got a little huatiao. So this fish dish, why do I say fish dish? It's fish. This fish dish, try saying that 10 times fast. It's a real tongue twister. This dish of fish, I can't even do it. Okay, this fish dish actually is called rice terrace fish. And just looking at the name, I would strongly suspect it is grown in the rice terraces as the crop is maturing. And you know what? In addition to the ducks, these also probably function as a form of pest control and fertilizer. So it really is a case of, if you want to focus on what's sustainable, sometimes the solution is sometimes going backwards. It's not necessarily overcomplicating things. Sometimes it's knowing some of the traditional practices that go into land management. This fish is even cooked with eggplant, and I'm going to be honest, I am an eggplant sucker. For me, it's hard to find an eggplant dish I don't like. And now that I know this fish is eggplant, I'm even happier. And little chunk of traditional tofu. Let's have a try. Yeah, flavor is very similar to the Shipian variety of tofu. And but this has so much more flavor, this sauce. I'm so happy. And this egg pancake, get a nice chunky boy. Which one to go with, the big or the small? You know what, I'm gonna start with the small. It honestly just tastes like egg. It just tastes like an egg pancake. And I don't mind I like egg pancakes, don't get me wrong, but the problem I'm seeing with this tree flower is that while it doesn't take anything away from the dish, it doesn't really add anything either. This is a lot moister. It's actually, I think this is just better cooked than some of the other restaurants I've been to with this. So this is nicer. So, it doesn't feel grainy in my mouth at all. It just feels nice, soft, and fluffy. Kind of like me. Nice and fluffy.
But But right as we were leaving the restaurant, we discovered that it is also an eccentric guest house.
You can actually see that bamboo is used to support the roof structure on the underneath. My head is touching the ceiling. It's a really cozy space, but but it's not designed for somebody of my height. It really isn't. I would hit my head on this every single time. This must what it feels like to be over about 6'5". This is a really comfy space though. And as always, when you enter these type of spaces, remember, take your shoes off, because you don't want to bring the outside dirt into the inside. It feels like what every kid imagines a treehouse to be like. You just need a little fridge and stuff and you're good to go. Remember kids, leave it the way you found it. Because the last thing you want to do is to give other tourists a bad reputation by being messy and just creating trouble like that, you know. You want to respect that, you know, like in places like this is like, they're not just tourist destinations, they're places people actually live and have their life.
And here I quickly learned that the balcony and the roof were the same thing.
Now that I have my shoes actually on, I'm not going to trip because I really don't want to trip here. Because right now, we're heading out and watch your head. The top of the roof is flat and is used as a place where people do their laundry. They come up, just hang out, and so yeah, it's just more space to do things. It could even be like they were cleaning, like washing vegetables and doing stuff up here. Not the place you want to be if you have a fear of heights and you know, you're easily caught off balance.
The guest house had a few more small rooms that looked like Harry Potter's cupboard under the stairs, and after checking them out, we started to leave Azheke Village. But this village had one last surprise for us on the way out.
Oh, wow. Hello. Hello.
好小啊！
你好笑，你好可爱。
它多大吗？
And it was at this point the tiny kitten decided that my skin was the perfect target to dig its claws into.
You're a small cutie. Oh, oh. Okay. Okay. 我他想要走，他想要吃我。啊。